Hey there, today we're filling this mini sketchbook by Hanemühle. Let's find out what I can do with this tiny format. When I went to the Creative World Fair in Frankfurt earlier this year, I got this mini sketchbook, and Makoccino, who is also a YouTuber, and I decided to create something with it and challenge ourselves. Her channel is a huge inspiration to a lot of people because she does a lot of tutorials and reviews and just about anything, and her videos are super awesome. So if you don't know her yet, check out her channel afterwards. So we decided to do something with this super tiny format, and it's not that easy because you're kind of limited. And the sketchbook has the specialty that it is in this zigzag kind of way, so that it doesn't have extra pages, but they're all connected to one another. You can see what it's like here. And so you can make up a kind of story. This was my idea, to make a story from the left side to the right side, and I decided to draw this bunny which is on a journey. And since it's currently Pride Month, I wanted to do something that has to do with pride, and I wanted to create a rainbow background, so all the colors of the rainbow. And the bunny should kind of be on the search for his or her identity. So I wanted to make a kind of a storyline from the left side to the right side. And at first I thought I'd do the pages on the left side more dark and colorless, and the bunny has not yet found out who he or she is and what kind of identity they have. But then I thought about what identity really is. Is identity something that you can find on the outside, in the exterior world? So if you identify as anything, do you have to find proof in the outside world that you are like that? For example, I identify as bisexual at the moment where I released this video. But I don't really have to have experiences with both men and women to know that I'm bisexual. And this goes along with all kinds of identity. You don't have to prove your identity. You don't have to find it on the outside. You don't have anyone to tell you the way you are. You are the way you are, and you yourself find that identity within yourself. You don't have to make any experiences or do anything for that. And also, identity is fluid. So that everything that I just said came to me while I was painting this piece, and then I thought it's all about the journey, and life is now. It's not somewhere, there is no destination where you can finally be yourself. You don't have to do anything to be yourself, and this goes for everything, not just for identity. You don't have to find yourself somewhere in the future. You don't have to work towards anything to finally be yourself, to finally be enough, or to finally fit with whatever you want to be like. You are yourself now. You have your identity now. It can change over time. You don't have to be a certain way all your life. You don't have to do the same job all your life. You don't have to have the same hobbies. You don't have to be the same person. You can change it around whatever you want to. So life only happens right now in this moment, and you're already there, because it's really about the journey. And this goes for art as well, because it's about the process. I really decided to enjoy the process of filling this little sketchbook. I didn't want to pressure myself into making this super beautiful. And since it's a collab, there's always this kind of, it's easy to compare yourself with the other person and to see what they come up with, and then say, oh my god, they're so creative, whatever they're doing is so much better than what I'm doing. And this is so easy to do that and to compare yourself, and especially with art, you always compare yourself So in this case, I really wanted to focus on just doing what I wanted to do and just really enjoy it and be present and enjoy all these colors. I love this rainbow over so much. All these colors make me so happy. And yeah, so I really wanted to be there and do the thing that just came up. I didn't have a huge concept, and like I explained, I changed it around a lot while I was doing it. And I thought about whether I wanted to make the bunny colorful or just leave it white. And then I decided to just leave it white because the outside world is so colorful already, which is kind of goes against everything that I just said. But I think it just looks better if the bunny is white and it's clean and like a canvas that you can still paint on. I don't know. I'm just protecting here. And yeah, I think that it looks really cute this way. The bunnies didn't turn out perfect, but I really don't mind. And I really enjoyed this tiny canvas, so to speak. I really enjoyed the tiny format. And it wasn't as big of a challenge as I first anticipated because it was a picture that's really long. So it's not tiny in my case because it's not several pictures, it's one picture that goes along from left to right. I saw that Mako did separate pieces and she did tiny cat stamps, and I'm super looking forward to see what she created. And she also shows her process from the idea to the finished piece, so that's really interesting to see. And yeah, you can see that I just started painting here. I didn't really have a huge concept at first, and that's just the way that I function. I don't really plan ahead. I don't really have huge concepts. I just make it up as I go. That's just the way that I am. There's nothing wrong with planning, and there's nothing wrong with doing it the way I do. So also with art, I try not to compare myself as much, not only the end product, but also the process, because some people are super neat and sketch everything at first and make sure that everything is perfectly straight and everything, and they enjoy doing it like that. And that's super awesome, and I have a lot of respect for that. But some people are just super messy and just throw paint on the paper or canvas and have fun with that. And I guess I'm somewhere in between, more on the messy side, I think. And sometimes I can be super neat, and it depends on the day. It's always different. So I'd say don't really pressure yourself into I have to do it a certain way. A real artist can do it like that or that. Who the hell cares? And who says that what a real artist is and what you're supposed to do and what you're supposed to be? So I'm kind of rambling, but I'm trying to tell you that you are already there and you're already enough, and just create something, enjoy the process, be yourself, and enjoy life. Life is way too short to look ahead far in the future, pressure yourself to be better. I read so many times in my comments that people tell me, oh, you're so great at art, I wish I could draw like that, but I can't, and it's all a hopeless case, and I wish I was better. But if you're just wishing to be better, do you even enjoy doing it? Because that's the whole point of doing it in the first place. Because if you don't enjoy it, then there's absolutely no reason to create art. If you just want the perfect outcome, I don't know, then buy artwork from somebody else, because it doesn't matter what the outcome is if you don't enjoy the process. You can force yourself into making the perfect piece, and then you can be proud that you have the perfect piece, but did you even enjoy making it? Is there even a purpose in doing it if you don't enjoy the time that you're spending with it? And I'm not saying that I enjoy every little second of creating. That's not the case. Sometimes I pressure myself too, and I always fall back into the mindset of, does this look great or not? That's just natural, and that's just something that we learned along the way. So you don't have to be perfect at not being perfect either, but just try to reduce the pressure that you put on yourself. So I went back in later again, you can see it here, and darkened the background, because at first I wanted the bunny to be in focus and the background to be super light and simple and not really stand off and not really be super distinct. So I made it more pastel-like, but then I saw that on the right pages that I did, that they had a bit more contrast and they were a bit more colorful. So I decided to do that on the other pages as well. And I just went back and gave it a bit more contrast and made it look a bit more interesting. And I'm glad that I did that, because I think it looks really cool now. And so you can always do that, always go back if you don't like something. If you feel like you're finished but something is still missing, maybe just wait for 1 or 2 hours, don't look at it, and then come back later and look at it again. And then you can see whatever you would like to add or change, and that's always a possibility. So you don't have to take it as it is. I know with traditional art you can't always really go back and change everything up, but you can always add things. And if something really went wrong, you can always start over. So this time I didn't really have the possibility, because I only had one sketchbook. So if I made a mistake, it was there for good. But I'm glad that it went smoothly and everything was fine. This time I really, really enjoyed doing this, and I love those colors so much. Like I said before, I'm thinking about doing more rainbow stuff in the future, because the whole year around we should have more rainbow content, and not just on Pride Month. I saw this month that all companies started to use rainbows everywhere, and while I'm glad that they do that, I'm also like, why don't you do that the whole year round? Not just because of pride, but also because rainbows are beautiful. It's just more colorful that way, and we need more color in our lives and more diversity and people who are different in a way, but also not, because we're not different, we just love people. It's just love. I don't know what to say or how to say it. So I added more details to the bunnies here, and then I was done. That's the finished piece. You can see this bunny jumping around, having a good time, enjoying his life, and the journey is fun and colorful, and then at the end it's resting and having a nice time there, but the journey still goes on. So don't forget to take a look at Mako's video. I'm really curious to see what she came up with. I really hope that you liked this video, and if you did so, please give it a thumbs up and please consider subscribing to my channel. And until next time, goodbye!